Good day everyone, I'm Winston Desanity Pacomios, and in this video I'm going to talk about science, history of science, and what is science. Science, from Latin scientia, knowledge, is a systematic enterprise that builds and organizes knowledge in the form of testable explanations and predictions about the universe. The universe, represented as multiple disc-shaped slices across time, which passes from left to right. The earliest roots of science can be traced to ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia in around 3000 to 1200 before Christ era. Their contributions to mathematics, astronomy, and medicine entered and shaped Greek natural philosophy of classical antiquity, whereby formal attempts were made to provide explanations of events in the physical world based on natural causes. After the fall of Western Roman Empire, knowledge of Greek conceptions of the world deteriorated in Western Europe during the early centuries 400 to 1000 Christ era of the Middle Ages, but was preserved in the Muslim world during the Islamic Golden Age. The recovery of assimilation of Greek works and Islamic inquiries into Western Europe from 10th to 13th century revived natural philosophy, which was later transformed by the scientific revolution that began in the 16th century. As new ideas and discoveries departed from previous Greek conceptions and traditions, the scientific method soon played a greater role in knowledge creation, and it was not until the 19th century that many of the institutional and professional features of science began to take shape, along with the changing of natural philosophy to natural science. And now let's talk about what is science. Science, any system of knowledge that is concerned with the physical world and its phenomena, and that entails unbiased observations and systematic experimentation. In general, a science involves a pursuit of knowledge covering general truths or the operations of fundamental laws. Science can be divided into different branches based on the subject of study. In physical science, study the inorganic world and comprise the fields of astronomy, physics, chemistry, and the earth sciences. The biological science, such as biology and medicine, study the organic world of life and its processes. Social sciences, like anthropology and economics, study the social and cultural aspects of human behavior. Science is further treated in a number of articles for the history of Western and Eastern science. See Science History of for the conceptualization of science and its interrelationships with culture. See Science Philosophy of for the basic aspects of scientific approach. See Physical Science Principles of and Scientific Method. Now, what are the implications of science in the world? We live in a knowledge society. Knowledge, in addition to mineral resources, capital, and physical activity, is an increasingly important resource. It contributes to the functioning of democracies and innovation and help countries to be competitive on a global scale. But science, which contributes significantly to knowledge, is confronted with new challenges. The role of science in an increasingly fragmented and digital society, as well as its significance for politics and civil society, will be redefined. Science can never offer a universal truth or an objective representation of. It can, however, offer methodologically verifiable interpretations and can question certainties and trigger. Science has an important social role and at the same time bears great responsibility precisely when this situation is not clear. Number 4. How science was able to help you in the world. The process of science is a way of building knowledge about the universe, constructing new ideas, that illuminate the world around us. Those ideas are inherently tentative, but as the cycle through the process of science again and again are tested and retested in different ways, we become increasingly confident in them. Furthermore, through the same iterative process, ideas are modified into more powerful explanations. For example, a few observations about inheritance patterns in garden peas gained over many years and through the work of many different scientists be built into the broad understanding of genetics offered by science today. So, although the process of science is iterative, ideas do not churn through it repetitively. Instead, the cycle actively serves to construct and integrate scientific knowledge. And that knowledge is useful for all sorts of things, from designing bridges to slowing climate change to prompting frequent hand washing during flu season. Scientific knowledge allows us to develop new technologies, solve practical problems, and make informed decisions, both individually and collectively, because its products are so useful. The process of science is intertwined with applications. Number 5. What are the advancements made by science? I'll give you 5 greatest scientific discoveries and inventions ever. Number 1. Often look at artificial intelligence from human perspective. For example, robots that begin thinking for themselves and perhaps take over the world. But for me, artificial intelligence is one of the greatest scientific breakthroughs of all time because it enables machines to learn and process more information that we ever could as humans. With all the big data being generated from genomics projects and electronic medical records from across the globe, artificially intelligent computers can learn to spot patterns in all that information, leading to faster discoveries and huge jumps forward in our understanding of diseases and how to treat them. Number 4. Medical imaging. Medical imaging is an essential tool for clinical analysis. Allow doctors to see beyond what is hidden by skin and bone to accurately diagnose and treat diseases. From X-rays and radiography and MRI scans and ultrasound technology, these scientific innovations have all helped to ensure modern science is the least invasive it can be while ensuring the best outcomes for patients. Medical imaging really showcase how science and technology are complementary disciplines as one advances the other. Number 3. Antibiotics. Antibiotics revolutionized medicine in the 20th century, and together with vaccinations have almost completely eradicated many one common diseases, such as tuberculosis. While the use of mold to treat infections was first noted by ancient civilizations such as the Egyptians and the Greeks, it was Sir Alexander Fleming who discovered the first antibiotic substance, Penicillin G, for the millions of lives that antibiotics have and continue to save worldwide. Antibiotics have the antibiotics have to be in scientific top 5. Number 2, the internet. Possibly the greatest technological invention of our time. A truly remarkable feat of physics and engineering in its own right. The internet has had a huge impact on science from connecting scientists across the globe and allowing them to share information and research more easily to providing scientific resources and papers to more people than ever. The internet is even helping to fund new discoveries. For example, the social media phenomena, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which fully funded a number of research projects, including one which identified a new gene associated with the neurological disorder. And number 1, DNA. Over the last 60 years, our rapidly evolving understanding of DNA has catapulted medical knowledge and treatments and even transformed way we solve crimes. Science since James Watson and Francis Crick's discovery of the double helix structure of DNA in 1953, The scientific community has split in many different directions to investigate the building blocks of life to understand what make us who we are. Without the discovery of DNA, we wouldn't have all the groundbreaking studies going on right now in genome mapping and sequencing. So for that reason, DNA has to be my number one scientific discovery of all time. That's all. Thank you.